What's up, guys? Today's video is actually going to be a pretty cool one. It's about this super realistic 10 scale Evo 7 Rally. It's the Tommy Mäkinen number 7 car, and this car is an icon, you know, on its own. And it's not just highly detailed because of the body detailing and the vents and all that stuff. It's also with regards to the way it drives, because as you know, the real Evo 7 and Evos in general, rally cars, they're all-wheel drive, and they have a beautiful exhaust system. And this car actually has a fully functional exhaust, like most of the cars that I built, along with, you know, highly detailed body shell. But also I love watching this thing drive, because the way the all-wheel drive system works and the way the exhaust, you know, functions and all that stuff going on all at once, and watching it in kind of like a toned down 10 scale model, it's just really nice and really cool. Having driven a lot of Evos in my life, and I really love those cars. Never driven a rally version Evo. Hopefully that'll happen one day, but until then, I got this little guy to kind of suppress that for me. But yeah, it's really cool. What's underneath is a old school, very old school, first generation Tamiya TG10. Let me put that properly. Yeah, it's old school first generation Tamiya TG10, and this chassis was pretty much junk before I restored it and brought it back to life. Has a lot of upgrades. I am shocked by, you know, the pricing and how the prices of these things kind of jumped up like crazy. People are asking for ridiculous amounts of money for parts that used to cost, you know, $60. Now they're like $300, and it's just times 400% inflation, whatever you want to call it, or people jacking up the prices. But in general, this thing has a ton of upgrades, from the TRF parts to the cooling engine mount to the also the optional roto start, so you don't, it's a pull start delete. And this engine also did not look like this. I'm going to do a separate video on how I got the kit from junk to back to life, basically, and in pretty much brand new condition. A lot of custom, I know it looks messy, but this is the only way I managed to get it to really make it stable and make a proper exhaust without compromising the pressure and the back pressure going to the engine, because you do need, after this exhaust, you do need some good amount of free flow. The pressure should come from the exhaust, and then from the exit of the exhaust, you should not have much pressure suppressing the engine. Modified the air filter a little bit, made it put like a little stack. I noticed this actually does help the engine a little bit. Yeah, and this is a brand new Tamiya filter, which was also pretty hard to find. It's got the CVD, some CVD joints, but yeah, it's just it's ready to rock now. It looks great, and well, it doesn't look amazing from the back, but needed, like I said, a lot of modifications to get it to look that realistic with the body shell. I also like how the body has this window netting, and it's real netting. It's not like a sticker or anything. This is real stuff, and the antennas and all that stuff is just pretty cool. It's not plastic, it's even metal antennas. So yeah, it's ready to go. I know you guys want to see it drive, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Just wanted to show you how the chassis looks like as is, and yeah, let's get to it and get going. so grippy, so much grip. These tires are just pure traction. So here we are back home after driving this beauty, and it was absolutely stunning, really. Magnificent to look at, magnificent to drive. I have a thing for this car big time, and just, I didn't even clean it, you know, you can still see the dust and you know, little things from driving, but still, it's pretty awesome. And a pro tip for anyone, usually after running Nitro cars, I kind of just roll a piece of paper or tissue or something, and I put it in the exhausts to prevent, you know, when I'm cleaning them or if I'm spraying them with water or anything, it prevents water from going inside and moisture, and it does drip oil sometimes, you know, especially right after running. And so I discovered that these little earplugs, they're just your standard little earplugs. You can buy them in anywhere really, and you can buy them in bulk online. They work perfectly. You just roll them up and you stuff them into the exhausts, and they expand and they take the shape of the exhaust, and it works wonders. So this is something new that I discovered, and I just wanted to share with you guys. But yeah, so here's the car on the stand, and I just want to mention a few things which I didn't really talk about before we went out to drive it, because I was just anxious to get out there and I didn't want to talk too much for you guys. I wanted to, you know, take it out and show you the car in action rather than just sit there and talk about it. But with regards to the detail, it's not just the roll cage and the mesh and, you know, the little touches on the car and the vents, and it's also things like this tow hook here. It's not really, these are actual body detailing kits, and there are 4 cars like this. They're aluminum tow hooks. So this is actually real, and it's pretty solid. You can actually pull the whole car with this because it's attached via a screw from underneath. And also the, you know, the exhaust itself, it just looks really beautiful. This car is really, really nice. Installing the roll cage, was kind of tricky, I would say, because with nitros, it's always more tricky than electric because you have the exhaust. And with this car, and usually cars where I try to route the exhausts to work like the real thing and to be positioned exactly in the position of the 1:1 scale race car, it's always, you know, you have to cut it and shave it and do things as I did here with the roll cage. You can kind of see that it had to be shaved off, otherwise it wouldn't sit properly. But that's fine, because even in the real thing, you have cells and you have batteries and you have things like that in the back. So it's not a big deal. And yeah, it turned out wonderful. It drives really beautifully, as we saw. And I like the fact that even though again, it's pretty realistic, you can say, even though we were drifting it and sliding it most of the time. If I wanted to drive this thing off-road, well, kind of off-road, it's totally fine, because as you saw, we kind of changed the tires. These are the kind of rally tires when I did the speed runs back and forth and the pulls. And for drifting, I use the Tamiya rubber. It's an awesome rubber compound. It's you'd think it's kind of plasticky, but it's not. It's just a really, really hard rubber compound, and they're really good. They used to, I believe, come with the older Tamiya TT01 drift chassis. They're great. They have like the compound of tire is rubber, hard rubber that's kind of like a plastic, and the Super Drift Tech tires, I believe, are kind of plasticky. So you have two drift tire options from Tamiya. Both of them are kind of like slick looking tires, but they both drift fantastic. I would say the more plasticky ones are more for slow speed drifts. And then you have also things like the HPI Super Drift tire, which is fantastic. That's a legit hard rubber compound tire that can allow you to drift at high speed. But again, with cars like this, it's good either way you go. It's going to look great, it's going to sound great, and it's going to drive great. And it's nice to try all these different tires on the same chassis, because you see how the car behaves differently, and it's nice. It's good. It's like you're driving a different car every time, just because of the tires. So yeah. So I wiped it down a little bit with a microfiber towel, just really quickly, and it took all the dust and grime and stuff off. And yeah, it looks still like it's a brand new kit. And matter of fact, this is exactly what I do with them after driving them. I put them in a display. So it's nice, because it's kind of like having a diecast model that you can also drive every once in a while. And this is basically what an RC car collection is for me. It's like a great thing you can look at and admire, but also when you're in the mood to drive it, you just take it out and have an absolute blast. And, you know, you can drive these things countless times, and if you do a good job and you take care of them, they'll still remain in display condition. And, you know, if you have some minor scuffs here and there, it's fine. Again, it is considered a baby race car. That's what RC cars are, and you shouldn't be afraid to have fun and enjoy it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video on this lovely Nitro Evo, and till next time, ciao.